What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. It's another beautiful Monday morning. Y'all know what we do on Mondays. We move, we motivate, and we get things going on Mondays. It's all about setting the tone for your week. And y'all know that each week I try to give you some insights, some knowledge, information, resources that you can use as an entrepreneur, as a leader, to be able to, what is it? Be better. Y'all know what it is. My mission, my purpose is to make you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. And I do that by trying to bring you just some tools that you can use to enlighten you, empower you, impact you. This past weekend, I hope you did something fun this weekend. But this weekend, I had the great opportunity to be able to attend the State of the Black World Conference 5, which was a conference, a 5 day conference, 5 day conference that was right here in Baltimore, downtown Baltimore, where um, it brought black people from all over the world, all over the globe, right here to our city. And it gave the opportunity to be able to talk about issues that dealt with, the issues that we deal with, some topics and ideas that we needed to talk with. And as I was sitting at the conference, and I'm listening to some of the sessions that I was in, because there was a hip hop caucus. It was on Saturday. There was the economic development session on Thursday with Dr. Frazier and Mr. Allen. Just some phenomenal speakers that they had. They had the president of Ghana was here as well too. So all of these great leaders that were here. And so I started to think about, what does leadership look like? And I did this some years ago because I had been thinking about, what does the 21st century leadership look like? What does 21st century leadership look like? And wanted to look at it from a couple of different lenses, and I wanted to look at it through the lens of the community. And for those that you're looking to be a leader, here's what I'm breaking down this week for everyone. And I titled it The Art of Leadership because it's one of my books, which is right here. I don't know if you can see it through the light there. The Art of Leadership: Success Strategies for the 21st Century Leader. And I wrote this book because I I'd seen the lack of leadership in our communities, or in business as well, coming into this 21st century. And if we didn't do anything to correct it, there was going to be this downfall of business and personal life. And as we see, there's this decline in business and leadership, in entrepreneurship and leadership, in all of those things. So I wanted to address that this week. And what I'm going to be dealing with this week is, like I said, we're going to be dealing with the family, education, government, business, and the church. Those are the 5 pillars of leadership. So I'm going to talk about that this week. All this week, we're going to deal with the art of leadership. What does it mean to be a leader in your family, in education, government, business, and the church? What does leadership look like? What does leadership need to be in those particular areas? So you call yourself a leader. You call yourself a leader, and today I'm going to deal with the family. And I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to give you maybe 2, 3 things, if that, and then I'm going to be done. So you call yourself a leader. And any business community, any community itself, the foundation, it all starts with the family. If you're going to be a leader in your household, if you're going to be the leader in your household, do you really understand? We're going to start with the definition of what a leader is. Do you understand what that means? And what I found in writing this book was that a lot of people who were in these positions of leadership did not understand what leadership was, what true leadership looked like. and they didn't understand what leadership looked like. Why? Because they hadn't been shown. A lot haven't been shown what leadership looks like. So how do you display leadership when you haven't been shown leadership? I'm going to ask y'all that question again. How do you display leadership when you've never been shown leadership? And a lot of us within the family dynamic, we may have thought what we saw was leadership, but in actuality, it wasn't. And I say that because y'all have heard me talk about it before. The miseducation of manhood and womanhood, that's part of leadership. And these conversations that I have with with some of my friends, we talk about leadership and in the family, and what we need to do in order to be able to make our families more successful. If you listen to social media, if you watch social media, you can see the lack of leadership in this wannabe now generation. I'm gonna say it just like that. They want to be the now generation, whereas they're really not the now generation. They're coming into learning what leadership is as heads of households, as families. And I listen to the conversations, and it's cringeworthy because I hear those are the same conversations that we had, those of us that are the Gen Xers. I think that's what, I don't know what the age categories. I just know that those of us that are in our in our 40s and 50s, and 60s, we are the now generation, and those that are coming behind us are the next generation. And and I've said this, we've done a disservice, both from a business perspective and from a family perspective. What examples have we set in the family, in relationships? And that's what leadership is about. Leadership is about showing the next generation and preparing the next generation for leadership. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What have we done? And I've talked about this, so y'all might not like me this week, but I'm going to talk about it because I think it's so important when it comes to leadership. And many people don't want to talk about it. Many people don't want to deal with it. It's just like, well, I'm just going to live my life. That's not me. That's not what I do. But and I'm going to get into, like I said, I'm going to get into education, government, business, and the family. So I'm going to talk about all aspects of our community this week. But today I'm talking about the family and what the family looks like. If you're going to be a leader in your family, or be a leader in your family, you have to first look within and see who it is that you are. Even if you haven't been taught the right things, you're old enough now to be able to gain an understanding by looking at those that exemplify what leadership looks like. Understanding as a family leader, being able to guide and being able to take on certain situations and be able to show the family. I always remember, when my grandfather passed, my dad's father, and I remember watching my father to see how he handled that whole situation, and how he stood tall in dealing with the passing of his father, and doing my grandfather's eulogy, conducting the service, because my father was a pastor, an elder. But him handling that and saying, and I'm sure he had his own dealings with his father passing, and he didn't show it to us. I know I didn't see it, and part of that was good, but part of that to me wasn't, because in the part that I say that was good, because he did what he's supposed to do, he handled it, he went through it, dealt with it. But the part that wasn't, I don't think so good, was him not showing us the emotional part of him. And we as men, as leaders, we're taught to be leaders. We're supposed to be the protectors and the providers. If I hear that one more time, y'all, I'm going to scream. I get it. Yes, we are supposed to be protectors and providers. But as a leader, here are the three things that you're asked to do in the household: protect, provide, and produce. And I'm going to say that all week. As a leader in the household, how do you protect, how do you provide, and how do you produce? That's the at the end of the day, those are the three things. You protect your family by one, the making sure that you have a house, a roof over your head, bills, some source of income, having a skill set, being able to work and be able to do what you need to do to be able to have have a decent life, and then protecting in the physical sense. In the physical sense, you can provide. I mean, in the physical sense, you can protect. But also, protecting is also, and providing is also emotional, psychological, spiritual, and then the physical. But a lot of us don't understand that as leaders. As I listen to the conversations of these young men, and I'll talk about the now generation versus the next generation, I see it. And I've said before that gap was maybe this big between um, my generation and the generation in front of us. That gap was this big, but now, yeah, I can't even get it on the screen, y'all. The gap is that wide. It's even wider now between us and the next generation as far as what they've been taught, how to handle situations, how to gain a skill set, how to utilize a skill set, how to um, grow and learn. So that, and grow and learn in the sense that there are certain things that I'm going to teach you just because I don't want you to be able to bump your head against the wall like I did. That's what leadership is. That's what it should be. That's what it should look like. Making sure that my health is together so that I can show you how to take care of yourself. I get on, I make sure that I've listened to, my one of my business associates, I love her to pieces, Coach Marcy, who talks about our health. Our health, that's a part of protecting and providing. Because if you aren't healthy and you aren't able to do the things that you need to do from a health standpoint, you can't protect and provide nobody or produce. So what are you doing? What is it that you're doing? I was listening to this morning. I was listening to YouTube, and they were talking about the guy was doing this his segment or whatever on the NBA, and they were talking about load management, and they were talking about the difference between this generation and prior generations: Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kobe Bryant, and all of them that played, Allen Iverson, all of them that played, versus this generation. And what they created called this load management thing, which is where, for those that might not be familiar with it, it's where they rest certain players on certain games just so that they can last longer into the season, into the playoffs. And it's become to the detriment of those that that created it and thought that it was a good idea. And they listened to it. They showed a clip of Magic Johnson, and he was talking about the conversation that him and Michael Jordan were having, and both of them were saying that they hated it. Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, they have the NBA has had 82 game seasons since forever. I don't know when the full 82 game season, and you have players that don't even they may play 2/3 of that. They might play, let's say, 60 games, right? 60 out of 82 games, and they're resting those other games just to rest, so that they could have more more time into the playoff season, so that they can have them rested up. And Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, that was like what they would never have thought about that, and that's what leadership is. Michael Jordan said he played because of his passion for the game, and he was like that was the competitor that he was, that was the leader that he was. He wanted to set the example. Magic Johnson wanted to set the example. Kobe Bryant wanted to set the example. Leaders set the example, y'all. In your family and in your household, you set the example. Whether you're the parent, you know, or even the older sibling. I know my older sister set the example for me. She set the tone for me. She was just one of the most intelligent people that I know, valedictorian and everything. And as leaders, you set the tone for what those that are following you will do. So if you set the tone of laziness, that's what you're gonna get from those that are listening to you. If you set the tone of accountability, what you think you're gonna get? You're gonna get those that hold themselves accountable. Leaders hold themselves accountable. Leaders in the family set the tone for the family. That's where we've got to get to in this 21st century. What tone are you setting in your family? Check. We've got like we check. You've got to check your accountability this week as a leader, from your home to your business. As the leader, what tone are you setting? What example are you showing for those that are looking at you? And trust and believe somebody's watching. If you're a leader, somebody's watching. Somebody's taking notes on what you do, how you handle certain situations. And that's what leaders do. Leaders step up and set the example for others. So if you want to set the example what example are you setting for yourself for this week? When it comes to your business, when it comes to your family, that's the art of leadership. What's the success strategy? What's the success habits that you have for you, for your family? We're going to get into the rest of it the rest of this week. But today it's about being the leadership in your family. About being the leader in your family. And the tone that you set. Because your family's watching. Are you the one that the rest of your family comes to? And you can't allow yourself to be the one that gets used all the time either. That's what good leaders do. Good leaders don't allow themselves to be used. They understand, yes, I have the bulk of the responsibility, or I may have the responsibility, but at the same time, I can't allow everybody to just pull from me and not get pulled into. Y'all know the pitcher in the glass. Yeah, as leaders, you are the pitcher. And I'm going to say it again. As a leader, you are the pitcher. You are who others are going to expect to get poured in from. But here's the thing. As a leader, you have to have someone that pours into you as well. And that means even the ones that you're leading, they should be pouring into you too as well. They should be showing you that they appreciate what you do. They should be showing you that they acknowledge the hard work that you put in. They should be saying, you know what? we appreciate all that you do for us. We appreciate how you are there for us. And you as the leader have to be willing to accept that too. And as the leader of the family, sometimes you need to re-energize yourself. You've got to you've got to take that time to get re-energized. Take a minute, get re-energized, and you do what it is that you do. That's the only way you're going to be able to do what it is that you do. That's what leaders do, y'all. Well, this whole week we're talking about the art of leadership. What does it mean to be a leader in the house, in the family? Protect, provide, and produce, y'all. That's what leaders do. And whether that's us as men, us as and you as women that are watching and listening. But it's not protect, provide, and produce from just a physical and a financial perspective. It's more than just that. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's spiritual, and then it's also includes physical and financial. So that's the wholeness of being a leader in the family. It's more than yeah. It's the 3 P's of leadership in the family. Protect, provide, and produce. What are you producing? If you look if you are a parent and you're in that 40 to 25 age category, what are you producing? What are you producing? Even if you're my generation, what are you producing? What skill sets have you gained in order to be able to produce what it is that you want to produce? That's what leaders do. Leaders produce. Bottom line. So are you producing a healthy family? And are you producing a healthy spiritual family? Are you producing a healthy emotional family? Are you producing a healthy psychological family? Are you producing a healthy cultural family? Are you producing a healthy financial family? All of those things go into what leadership is in the 21st century. So I want you to think about that this week as you do what it is that you do. What am I producing as a leader? Yeah, the protect and provide will come if you're producing. I'm gonna say that again. If you're producing, the protecting and providing will come. Because I can't produce something and not be willing and want to protect and provide for it. So I want you to think about that today as you go through your day, through your week. What am I producing? As leaders, it's our responsibility to produce. What I say, leader, listen, learn, empower, assist, develop, execute, and get results. That's what leaders do, y'all. And I'm going to say that all week too. In the family, are you a leader? Do you listen and learn? Do you empower? Do you assist? Do you develop? Do you execute? And do you get results? That's what leaders do in the family. That's what leaders do in education. That's what leaders do in business. That's what leaders do in government. That's what leaders do in business, and that's what leaders do in the church. That's what we do. That's what being a leader is. So think about that this week. We got a full week ahead. Beautiful outside. Get your walk on. Get your exercise on. Hope you did something fun this weekend. Looking forward to this week. What are we going to produce this week? I want you to think about that. What are you going to produce this week? Produce those results that you want in the family and in your business. What are you producing? You can, it's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. You can check us out. You can go to the Linktree page and check out the book if you want to get the book, The Art of Leadership. Or you can hit me up, DM me, or you can send me an email message at jnfenterprisesllc@gmail.com. You can get an autographed copy of the book as well. So you can go to the Linktree, http://link, linktr.ee/JNF Enterprises. We look forward to seeing y'all the rest of this week. It's your boy, the Impact Builder, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.